Unless you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, you know the two best pieces of superhero media to release recently are The Boys and Invincible. Both these shows were the talk of the town, and even The Boys spin-off Gen V has everyone talking. And now with the releasing of season 2 of Invincible, it got me thinking, what DC characters deserve the hype that Mark Grayson gets? And I'm going to cover those today. My name is Pierre, and today we're going to talk about the 3 DC characters that deserve the Invincible treatment. Let's get into it. When we talk about the superhero genre, there's only 2 universes we ever really talk about, the DC and the Marvel Universe. But recently, the only superhero media that matters is everything going on over there at Amazon Prime Video. They have the best superhero show out right now, and the second best one in The Boys. And I'm going to avoid saying the first one's name because you guys know exactly what happens if I do. But basically, the show follows Mark Grayson, and he's... I told you guys what was going to happen if I said his name. For y'all who don't know what this show is, basically Marky Boy, aka Off-Brand Spider-Man, is the son of an evil Superman named Omni-Man, and he kills the whole entire Justice League. And the whole entire show is basically a coming-of-age story about a young man trying to fill the shoes that his father left behind before he became evil, while also preparing to fight his dad if it comes down to it. The animation is so good, and the show itself is even better. I'm probably going to be catching up with season 2 while I'm editing this video. In every way, Invincible is exactly what a superhero TV show is supposed to be. A strong written lead with real-life problems about balancing his 2 lives while trying to be the best version of the hero he can be. And also a strong love interest. And I don't care what you guys want to say, Amber's a good female character who is extremely overhated. Mark has a great team around him and characters that are actually deep and aren't just here to move Invincible's story forward. I also love a little love triangle in some TV shows. I will say, Amber and Eve is perfect for this show. And Invincible's textbook superhero TV and exactly what every studio should follow to build the next superhero TV show. I think both Marvel and DC have some characters who would be a great fit for this role, and today I'm going to give you guys 3 DC characters who I think would be perfect for this. So to find out what we're looking for when we talk about the Invincible treatment, we got to talk about what makes these characters unique, and what are some intangibles for a character like this. For me, I'm going to make a checklist, and number 1 on my checklist is that they have to be in the young adult years from 16 to 23. Number 2 is a character who feels unfit, and what I mean by unfit is just somebody who's lost in their own time, trying to navigate and create a name for himself. And for 3, a character who has a strong supporting cast, and characters that actually help mold our main character. I came up with 3 heroes, 2 of them are well known, and 1 of them deserves some love, but he's out there for sure. Let's get into it. For our first character, we're starting off with another knockoff Spider-Man character, aka Batman Beyond, who for y'all who don't know, was a character created in the 90s to compete with Spider-Man. DC tried to create a teenage Batman to try to appeal to everyone who loves Spider-Man. One thing they didn't expect though, was that they'd become one of the most beloved characters in the comics. Terry McGinnis is Batman, but besides having raging anger issues and being an above-average looking man, Terry and Bruce are nothing alike, so it makes it crazy to think that he would be the next Batman, and that's what makes him perfect for this. I know Batman Beyond already had a TV show, but I generally don't think you guys understand that a Batman Beyond TV show remake would feed families. The original show feels like it was ahead of its time, and the topics it touches are really good, and his Rose Gallery is so unique. Characters like Blight, Inc., the Royal Flush Gang, and the Jokers are so perfect and could represent so many different things in a show with mature themes and a darker series. Also a love triangle between Dana Tan, Terry's actual love interest, and Melanie Walker, aka 10, who's one of Terry's villains that he always just happens to be around. And I was also in love with her when I was like 7 years old, so I understand why he's always around. And she could play that Adam Eve role for Batman Beyond. Also, he has Batman as a mentor, and he could play the role that the Immortal plays to Markin. The last reason I have for Terry is because he already has so much media made from outside of the original show. I don't know if you guys have seen the footage and images from the Batman Beyond movie that got shut down by Warner Bros, but it's been servicing everywhere. And let me tell y'all, that movie would have hit the streets like crack in the 80s. Terry is almost exactly what Mark Grayson is, and the characters are so similar. Probably because they're both Spider-Man copycats, but I feel like if any of these characters were to make sense, it would be Batman Beyond for sure. Our second character is one of the most underrated DC characters of all time, and when I was scripting this video, she didn't originally make the cut. It was Static, but I saw a tweet saying she was the blandest DC character ever. Huh? I wasn't going for any of that disrespect for my cartoon crush Zatanna. There's a lot of ways we can go with the Zatanna TV show, but if I had to make it, I would make it a lot like the Harley Quinn show. Not as funny, but the same type of animation. I want her to be in the younger age range from 19 to 25. In a lot of the Justice League dark media she's in, it's usually ages 30 to 35. And I really think a younger Zatanna like we saw in Young Justice would be perfect for her. Back to the T-Minus name drop though, I would love to see them be a big part of this series. Seeing John, Constantine, and Deadman playing the older brother / mentor roles to Zatanna would be awesome, though. Also, this could be another place where we can see mini Batman, aka Nightwing, who also is somebody who's had a relationship with Zatanna in the past. Zatanna's character is a lot like Mark for the main reason of she's not technically human. She's technically a homo magi.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I had no clue what that means, but I'm pretty sure this means she's a human born with magic powers. One thing about her character that I love is her powers. She's a magician who can literally say anything backwards and it happens, which can be great to explore in this TV show. And also learn about her father and the race of people her mom was. These are all things that could be explored in the Zatanna TV show. That's a lot of content. And the last character on my list is Duke Thomas, aka The Signal. And let me give y'all boys a quick rundown of The Signal since y'all might not be too keen of him. The Signal is a member of the Bat family who was introduced in Batman 21 in 2013. Duke Thomas is the son of a metahuman named No Man and Elaine Thomas, an immortal woman who fled to Gotham City after she found out she was pregnant with No Man's child. Duke and his family ended up being captured by the Joker, and he exposed his parents to some type of toxic that made them go crazy. Batman ended up saving Duke, and he went on to join the We Are Robins movement to help fight crime after Batman disappeared. After this group disbanded, Batman decided to bring Duke into the fold and giving him the mantle of the Signal. It was around this time he started to see the activation of his metahuman abilities. Yes, you heard me right, he's a meta. With powers like photokinesis, which basically give him the power to manipulate darkness and light, ghost vision, which gives him the ability to perceive light as a ghost and see into the past for a small period of time, and he can also look into the future a couple seconds to see danger. I wonder who he sounds like. Now that we have his backstory out of the way, let me tell you guys why he'd be a good fit for the Invincible treatment. First off, he's the only member of the Bat family who never gets talked about. He has such a dope suit, a cool backstory, and some of the coldest villains in the Batman mythos. He has villains like Karma, Caliber, and Ishmael. One of the main reasons I picked him is because his dad is also one of his villains. Sounds like somebody we know. He also has a history with the Joker. Duke has been a Robin, and he's so close to Cassandra Cain, someone else who could be in this show to fit that good character model, and he has two best friends, Rico and Daxton, who are also great characters and heroes just like him. And his story also deals with Gotham in the morning, which is something we never get to see in Batman, because somehow all 10 of the Bat family members all work the night shift. If you're looking to get into some Signal media, I have just a book for you. It's one of my favorites recently. It's called Batman and the Outsiders. It's a book that follows Signal, Black Lightning, Katana, and Orphan. It's a pretty good book. I would love to see it get made into a TV show, but that's a video for another time. With that being said, those three characters, in my opinion, are the three most deserving of the Invincible treatment. But I said it earlier in the video that I had a couple Marvel characters who I think also deserve the Invincible treatment. Next week, we go switch it up on y'all boys. For the first time on this channel, we're going to talk about some Marvel characters who also deserve the Invincible treatment. And I'm letting you guys know right now, one of those characters is Nova. Don't get mad at me, I'm just letting y'all know early that he is in that video. So that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Drop in the comments down below who y'all think also deserves the Invincible treatment from DC. I want to say thank you guys for the support on this channel. We're almost at 500 subs, man. I do want to make that push before the summer, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button. Hey, if you guys enjoy content like this, bro, hit that like button. Let's find some more DC fans. Let's bring them over here. With that being said, I'm Pierre, and I'll see y'all boys next week for a Marvel video, dog. Like, what?